A single camera angle. A dimly lit corridor. And footage that has now ignited a national debate. Inside a South African correctional facility, CCTV recordings linked to the detention of Michael Sandlana have reportedly revealed scenes that few anticipated, and the political shockwaves are only beginning. What happened behind those prison walls is no longer just a legal matter. It has become a political flashpoint. According to reports circulating among legal representatives and independent observers, internal CCTV footage from the correctional facility where Sandlana is being held captured a sequence of events that raise serious procedural questions. Sources suggest the footage shows moments of heightened tension within a restricted section of the prison, including interactions between inmates and officials that are now under review. The Department of Correctional Services has not publicly released the full recordings. However, confirmation that an internal review is underway has intensified scrutiny from political parties, civil society organizations, and members of the public demanding transparency. Michael Sandlana, known for his influence within religious and political circles, has remained a controversial figure in South African discourse. His detention followed ongoing legal proceedings that attracted nationwide attention. Supporters view him as a victim of political targeting, while critics argue that due process must take its course. The emergence of CCTV footage has complicated an already sensitive situation. Reports suggest that the recordings show unexpected activity in areas typically subject to strict monitoring protocols. While details remain limited, legal analysts say the existence of such footage could play a significant role in upcoming court discussions, especially if it relates to inmate safety, procedural compliance, or institutional conduct. South Africa's political environment remains tense, with public trust in state institutions under consistent pressure. Any suggestion of irregularity within correctional facilities risks fueling broader debates about governance, accountability, and oversight. Opposition figures have reportedly called for clarity, emphasizing the need for institutional transparency. Meanwhile, government representatives have urged caution, stating that internal investigations must proceed without political interference. Correctional services officials have reiterated that prison facilities operate under strict regulatory frameworks designed to protect both inmates and staff. They have emphasized that any concerns raised by footage will be addressed through established oversight mechanisms. However, public reaction has been swift. On social media, discussions have ranged from calls for independent investigations to broader questions about how high-profile detainees are treated within the system. Civil rights groups have highlighted the importance of ensuring that all inmates, regardless of status, are treated according to constitutional standards. South Africa's constitution places significant emphasis on human dignity and lawful detention procedures. Any perceived deviation can quickly escalate into a national controversy. Political analysts say the situation is particularly sensitive because Sandlana's case intersects religion, politics, and public trust. His supporters have organized peaceful demonstrations in the past, maintaining that his legal battles carry political undertones. Critics counter that the justice system must remain independent and insulated from public pressure. The CCTV footage, whether ultimately deemed routine or concerning, has amplified scrutiny. According to sources familiar with correctional oversight processes, footage reviews typically assess compliance with safety protocols, staff conduct, and response times. If irregularities are identified, they may lead to administrative reviews or internal disciplinary procedures. If no violations are found, officials are expected to clarify findings publicly to prevent misinformation from spreading. What makes this development especially significant is perception. In a climate where allegations can spread rapidly online, partial information often shapes narratives before official conclusions are reached. Analysts warn that premature assumptions could undermine confidence in institutions already facing intense political debate. Within Parliament, discussions about correctional reform and institutional accountability have been ongoing for years. This latest episode may renew calls for expanded transparency measures, including independent monitoring systems and enhanced reporting obligations. Meanwhile, legal representatives connected to Sandlana's case are reportedly reviewing all available evidence to determine whether the footage holds relevance to his legal standing or conditions of detention. If procedural concerns are formally raised in court, the judiciary may be asked to assess whether any rights were compromised. The broader implications extend beyond one individual. South Africa has consistently emphasized the rule of law as a cornerstone of its democratic system. Correctional facilities form part of that framework. Any incident that suggests deviation from established procedures inevitably draws attention not only from political actors but also from international observers monitoring governance standards. At the same time, officials caution against inflating unverified claims. Internal reviews are standard practice when questions arise. Transparency, they argue, requires careful examination of facts rather than emotional reaction. Still, the public appetite for answers remains strong. The phrase "shocking scenes" has dominated online headlines, yet the full context remains under evaluation. Experts note that surveillance footage, when viewed without complete background information, can sometimes appear more dramatic than the procedural reality behind it. What matters now is process. If investigations conclude that protocols were followed appropriately, officials will likely seek to restore confidence through detailed briefings. If concerns are substantiated, accountability measures could follow, reinforcing oversight structures within the correctional system. Politically, the moment is delicate. South Africa's recent history has shown how quickly institutional controversies can escalate into national debates. Trust, once shaken, requires sustained effort to rebuild. For governing bodies, the priority will be balancing transparency with procedural fairness. For opposition parties, the issue presents an opportunity to press for broader institutional reforms. For the public, it is a test of whether systems designed to ensure justice function as intended. As the review continues, one fact remains undeniable: a prison corridor captured on camera has become a focal point in South Africa's ongoing conversation about accountability, governance, and the integrity of state institutions. The coming days will determine whether this footage represents routine oversight or a catalyst for reform. In a nation built on constitutional values and democratic accountability, every frame of that CCTV recording now carries weight far beyond the prison walls. And until the full findings are made public, the country watches, waiting to see whether the images that sparked national attention will ultimately reinforce trust in the system, or deepen the questions already facing South Africa's political landscape.